Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is a very special guest joining us for the video. So stay tuned till the end and enjoy. Allow me to introduce you to the very dynamic and the renowned urologist Mrs. Dhanashri Chodkar. I have known her since many years now and I always have admired her for the amazing human she is and of course her professional achievements. So ma'am, welcome back to my channel.
Thanks, Priyanka. I also love to work with her.
So
We have good time
yeah.
treating our patients.
Yes. So how are you feeling shooting this video for the first time?
For the first time, really, actually, I am learning from all you young kids that how important it is to share the knowledge and how important it is to teach people online. I think this is one of the good ways. We have been doing it, to our patients when they come to chamber. But this is one of the best ways to reach masses.
Correct. Yes. So, ma'am, what inspired you to become a doctor?
Oh, see, now I'll tell you, Priyanka, I have been in practice for last 30 years. Okay. I entered my medical college when I was 17, like everybody else. But see, our times, we always carried that dream that I have to become a doctor. Now, if you ask me why, I don't know. But that was there right from my, say, 8th, 9th standard.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I think when I passed my 10th, that was the time, if you're a rank holder and all, it was a big thing. So, I was one of the first. So I was always a studious. All doctors are studious. so then, they asked me, what do you want to be? But I never had to think twice. I mean, it was there in my mind.
Correct.
And I can't analyze it why I wanted to be.
Correct.
But I somehow felt, I couldn't have been anybody else other than doctor as my profession. Though I like so many other things. I always feel if I wouldn't have been a doctor, then I would have been a stage actor.
Oh,
yes.
This is very like bang on opposite.
Bang on opposite.
But lovely, your patients are very lucky to have you as a doctor. Of course,
I hope so. I hope so.
Okay, so what is the this profession, as we know, it's very stressful. Like you have to balance your personal life and your professional life. So, like, how do you bring about that balance in life?
Yeah, that is very important, and I think not now. I know the young doctors are very, they are very much aware about their health conscious. As a doctor, we are all health conscious, but when you enter your profession, the timing, the emergencies, and the emergency medical care which you have to take for your patient, then you many times forget your food habits, routine food habits, the timing, you forget about your exercise. So when I started my practice, a stage had come that I had put on a lot of weight. I was not as physically active as I should have been.
Correct.
But then I think I realized it in time, and then I tried to maintain my eating times, and I see to it that I do some exercise every day. Say it is 30 minutes, 45 minutes, whatever is possible. It could be walking, it could be little exercise, or maybe stationary bicycling, whatever is possible at that time. Parallelly, I also feel that little bit of good breathing techniques or any form of yoga exercises also help. Parallelly, as all you have been telling your patients, I fully agree that some weight training or some static exercises are also important. So I try to do as much as possible. It may not be, as it should have been, but I try to do that.
But that's a good thing, coping up with the professional and your personal balance.
Yes, that's important because I think
even you have to stay fit to look after your patients.
Seriously.
Correct. No, very great. I mean, it's a very good thing, and I think creating a balance makes the life beautiful. Like you just go behind the patient, then your personal life is affected.
So somewhere I think you have to draw the line that what your profession is important, your services are important, but parallelly your own health is also important, and that much exercise it has to be done. At the same time, you should keep some me time. And whatever is your hobby, you should pursue that.
Correct. So I think nobody knows this, but Madam is an amazing artist. We have all her paintings in our clinic.
My patients compulsory have to see them.
So it's very good that you rejuvenate by doing what you like and also maintain a good practice. That's really great. And in the past few years, ma'am, of your practice, what cases have you seen have increased in number?
Yes.
The neurological cases.
Yes. Very important one we are seeing, and you all are reading it in the paper also, that all the degenerative diseases, the neurological degenerative diseases are maybe they are picked up better, or as we are seeing the aging population is increasing day by day. We have a lot of octogenarians now. We are seeing many of these dementia cases increasing. We are seeing Parkinson's cases increasing. Probably they were always there. We are picking up better, correct? Especially the COVID time. What I would now would like to say that it was the worst period in everybody's life. But we saw that this degeneration or this worsening was very rapid in COVID time, especially patients in that elderly age group, say 70 above. For that matter, every age group got affected, but the elderly group got more affected. We are also seeing that maybe people who are doing a lot of IT work or the desk job, we are seeing a lot of spondylitic problems or the neck pains increasing, migraine increasing. Their schedules are getting disturbed, so even sleep issues are affecting headaches, migraine. So all these cases also have increased. At the psychological level, I am sure they are also increasing, but in my clinical practice, I feel that they are definitely increased.
So, ma'am, what would you like to give them as a precautionary measure that they can do in order to prevent it from worsening, like fast worsening of the disease?
So important is, like, of course, I'm sure you will talk something about the exercise part of it. And I want you to harp upon those points very meticulously. But in short, I would say that a regular routine life, including some kind of exercise in any which form, which they are comfortable with and their doctor suggests, has to be there. Their food habits have to be proper. It has to be a proper square meal. They should have good sleeping hygiene. What I mean by that is, now I see a lot of younger, middle-aged and even elderly getting hooked onto either the tabs or the video, the mobiles because of lockdown probably, and that is disturbing their sleep cycle. So many times I ask them, then they will say that we sleep only by 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock.
Correct.
And then of course we complete 8 hours sleep, we get up by 12 o'clock and then everything is fine. But nowadays I get headache. So this is a common story I will hear. I will hear the same story from a child. I will hear the same story from a working class people and even the elderly. Because in COVID time especially, what should I do made them get hooked onto all this. So even that has to be taken care of. So good night sleep, preferably before 12 o'clock. Why? Because all our hormones start secreting at that time. If you do not take good care, then all that imbalance eventually affects your body, and it actually will give you some permanent damage to some of the organs. You may have high acidity, you may have lethargy, you may have headaches, you may have aches and pains, you may have all sorts of problems then getting complicated. So these few things I feel are important. If they cannot get out of the house, I feel that in-house they can do so many types of exercises.
Correct.
I think there is no end to it. So that also will be important, and I'm sure you will have good session on that.
Yes,
And I'm going to request you to put up that session, especially for people who cannot now get out of the house or they are scared to get out of the house. For working class, for people who are doing 8 to 9 hours or 10 hours of desk job on their laptop. So I think you have to have session for everything.
Of course, we'll have those videos coming up soon. But as ma'am requested, even we have seen a lot of spondylitic and back
Back
problems
problem,
increasing in this COVID
Yes,
times.
yes.
So of course I've already put one video on the back exercises and I'll be putting more for you guys. So you can always watch them and get going.
For everybody, I think that family values are also very important. So I think you can, for even exercise, the elderly can be helped by the younger people, or maybe kids can help their dada dadi or nana nani to get certain exercises.
Some easy exercises that both of them
Yes,
can
they
do
can
together.
do together. I think
Right.
that's also a good idea, right? So I think more or less, it's this kind of lifestyle will take them in a bigger way, avoid all these uh, degenerative problems, or if they are, at least they can be plateaued, they can be postponed. They will have a better and a healthy long life.
True. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it very informative. Do like, share and subscribe to our channel, and we'll be calling ma'am soon to answer your questions.
Thank you, Priyanka. It was nice to interact with you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.